So in this video training course for beginners on the Betfair Trading Exchange, we are going to be talking about strategies and Betfair Trading strategies. Now there are hundreds of strategies that you can follow, you can read about, you can watch on YouTube, but my experience here is that you're going to need to do a little bit of work because you're going to need to determine the kind of trader that you want to be. So do you want to be in play? Do you want to be before the event, etc., etc.? And every strategy that you look at or you think about doing, I think, can be summed up with my what has to happen philosophy. So think about the market that you're going to trade and write that at the top, and then write down everything that has to happen for that to be a profitable trade, and then go off and find those answers. That's the whole philosophy of it, trying to keep it really simple. Like I say, it doesn't need to be complicated. It is what has to happen. But I am going to give you some examples of strategies in this video so that you can create some of your own around this. You can create your own edges around these, or you can use these and build upon them yourself. So remember, it doesn't need to be complicated. I'm going to start with the horses. So horses pre-race. So can you find a horse in the morning where you think the price is a little bit too high? You think, looks like it's going to come in, there's a lot of people wanting to bet that. You can back it here and lay it here through the hours of the morning. You can also do back to lay horses or lay to back. So there's websites like Pattern Form where they will give you in-play data on a horse's price dropping. So you could place a back on the horse just before the race starts and then aim to lay it a percentage below that starting price in play, because the data tells you that that horse gets out in front and it runs well. So the price will drop in play. And you could also do the lay to back, so you can find the data where horses aren't going to run well and do a lay just before the off and then back it higher during the race. There's also something called dobbing. Now dobbing you can also do on Pattern Form. Dobbing in its simplest form is you're backing a horse just before the off at 12 for £10. You're going to lay that horse in play at 6 for £20. Now if you hit your £6, your 6.0 price, you're going to get £10 profit. If not, you're going to lose £10. It's a double or bust strategy. It's a very nice strategy for people who want to get started on the horses. You can use Pattern Form to find horses which dob higher percentage-wise than others. It's a nice strategy to get started. If we move on to football, then we could talk about the old favourite and still one of my favourites, lay the draw. You know, you can find stats on games that aren't going to finish a draw, you know, where one team is going to score first and another is going to concede first. So you can lay the draw. It's very, very simple. You lay the draw. You lay that there will not be a draw. There's not going to be a draw in this game. As soon as a goal comes in, you trade out. It's a cracking little strategy. Lay the draw at half time is another variation of that. And one of my members on BTC, one of the most profitable traders I know just from following this strategy, keeps it super simple, uses the Betfair website for all of his trades and keeps it super simple, uses our stats to find those games, but just find a game that's 0-0 at half time and then look to lay that draw, find the data, find the in-play data and lay the draw. It's a really nice one. So both of those sort of in play. If you want a pre-match one, team trading news. You know, find a team that is waiting on some news for their, is Aguero coming back for Man City, for example? Do you know that? Is it looking likely? You can trade the team news before the game. You know, if you know that they've won their last 10 home games and the price looks like it's coming down and Aguero's coming back and blah, 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 you can back them and then trade out before the event. That does take a little bit more skill. It's a little bit, you've got to really understand what's happening, what's making the price move, etc. But it's a good strategy to use. Also, the over or under 2.5 goals. That's a cracking place to be. It's a cracking strategy to use. You can use free websites like Soccer Stats to get that information. If you want paid software, then we've got some and you can save those filters. So you could save every day you could get on your filters any football match which is over 75% over 2.5 goals, and then you could start looking at goal times, and you could have that on your dashboard in BTC. But you can find all of this free. So if you wanted to trade the over 2.5 goals, you could find the average first goal time, and then you could find the percentage of games over 2.5 and look through the list of the games today and get the best ones. And then when it looks like the first goal's about to come in, bang, you could back over 2.5, goal goes in, trade out. Or you could do it with the unders, find games where there's a high percentage chance of it being 0-0 at half time, and then back under 2.5 at the start of the game and get out 15-20 minutes, keeping your eye on the in-play stats, backed up with the data. It's a cracking strategy to use. Another good one for the tennis, we'll move on to the tennis now, is the lay of the first set winner. So quite often in tennis, this is a really simple one, and this is an old school one that's been around forever, is to find a tennis match, watch the tennis match when the first set is over, lay the person that's won the first set. You don't then need them to even drop the next game. If they even get the threat of dropping the next game, their price has changed and you've got a nice profit. So there's some really, really simple strategies that I've just touched about briefly. If you do have any more questions about them, drop them in the comments below. I will answer them. But they're just some really nice strategies to help you get started.